What's good, y'all? I hope y'all had a fantastic day today because you already know your boy Kari had a fantastic day. Today, I want to kind of get into some pros and cons of having a cash car over having the finance car. You know what I'm saying? So I think cash versus finance, as far as when it comes to cars, is a very big topic because it's kind of very hard to choose one. You know what I'm saying? It's very hard because it's like, on one hand, you got a lot of payments, but you got reliability. And then on the other hand, you got no payments, but you got maybe reliability, maybe not. You know what I'm saying? So let's just get into it real quick. And that's the first one right there. The pros and cons for each one is kind of like the opposite. So if it's reliability for financing, it's going to be not so reliable on the cash side. You know what I'm saying? So first one, reliability. If you're going to finance a car, reliability is definitely a pro unless you're financing something that's stupid, like over 150,000 miles. And like, it don't even make sense to finance a vehicle if it got over 100K. Don't even make sense unless it's a truck or unless it's like a Honda, Toyota, something that you know for 100% fact is going to push past 200K. And I'm talking about past 200K. I'm not talking about 200K just hit 200K. I'm talking about 250, possibly 300. That's the only way it would make sense to finance a vehicle that has over that many miles. It wouldn't even make sense to do that. You might as well just go and just take the hit and just go get the brand new car with 0 miles, even though you have to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? So if you're financing a vehicle, you're gonna definitely get more reliability out of that vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Unless somebody just sell you a lemon, there's definitely some instances where you can buy a car that's a bad car, right? That can happen. But it's definitely a lot less likely for that to happen because most of these cars that are being financed have been kept up in pretty good condition, you know, and especially if it's like at a reputable dealership, they're gonna go through and do everything that they need to do with the car for the most part, you know, to make sure that it's a good running, decent car. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna be able to buy that, finance that vehicle, and immediately drive that shit for another 30, 40, 50K miles without having to do nothing to it. You might not even have to put tires on it. You could just run them things out to they ball. You know what I'm saying? But then when you come to the cash car route, I'm not saying that you cannot get a reliable vehicle. That's not what I'm saying. Because I have successfully bought multiple reliable vehicles, and I have one sitting in the driveway right now, a 1999 Honda Accord that I bought for $1,800 almost 2 years ago, and I have not done anything to it. Well, I can't say anything. I've done small things like power steering pump. I've done EGR valve, which is what I recently just did. Other than that, keeping up with the fluids, the thing burned hella oil, so I mean, it's an old hard Honda, so it's gonna do that. But I haven't done anything very serious to it. And to be honest with you, I literally could have left the EGR valve alone. I could have left the power steering pump alone, and I still would have been riding to this day and would have no problems. I just had to put that out there. I could still be driving my car today for no reason, just because it's riding. I got a good one, all right? The part about it that's very hard is to be able to find that reliable vehicle. You know what I'm saying? And then also, once you find a cash car, a lot of times you're gonna have to do some work up front to it. I got into a good position because I bought the car from somebody who was a mechanic who had already put in a lot of work into the vehicle because they were trying to get it for their daughter or something like that, but then their daughter ended up not wanting it, whatever. So I definitely, hit the lottery on the car that I got, but a lot of times you're gonna have to put some work into it. So that's why I see why it's so difficult to choose, because you don't want to have to pay all this money out financing the vehicle, but then you go spend 2, 3, 4, 5,000 on a cash car, and then you still gotta put all this money into it. Now you done spent 5, 10, 15K up front on the car, because it's like, damn, you just bought a bad car when you could have just put 1,000 down on a car finance and then paid your little 300-400 a month, and then you still ain't put that much into the car yet. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. especially for women, you know what I'm saying, who you don't work on your own car, and you don't really probably know that much about cars. Not saying that women don't know nothing about know nothing about cars, but what women you know is finna go outside and do an oil change on their own car? Come on, be for real. So I get it. It's definitely a difficult situation. So that's the first one, reliability. Now we're gonna talk about how much it costs for both of these, right? So financing a vehicle is obviously going to be more expensive in the long term because you're paying on a vehicle, you have interest, you got insurance, you got all this stuff like that. Even though you do have insurance on your cash car, but the difference is on your finance vehicle, you got to get full coverage. You got to get full coverage. You got to get collision. You got to get all that stuff. You got to get everything when you have a new car. Okay. And when you have a cash car, you don't have to get all that. You can easily pay a couple $100 or $100, whatever it may be, for just, you know, I think it's called PIP, or the bottom of the barrel insurance. You're going to pay significantly less money on that. And so other things that come with that, as far as like expenses are concerned, your cash car, like I was speaking earlier about your reliability, it can come with some upfront costs. But if you get a decent vehicle, yeah, you might have to put some brakes on it, put some tires on it, stuff like that, right? Get in alignment, because these cash cars are cars that haven't been driven for a while. They probably already had some issues, or somebody just trying to get rid of the car and it's just been sitting. So stuff like that. You're going to have a little bit more upfront costs, but in the long term, it's going to balance out, and it's going to start to, you know, show that it's less expensive because, you know, I got my Honda, I put tires on it. That was it. I got my Honda and got some tires, and then, you know, I was able to save money for a long time. You know, I'm still be able to save money because I don't have to put money out into a car payment and everything like that. And so overall, you're going to be spending a lot more money with the finance vehicle, but obviously that's so you can have comfort, that's so you can have reliability, that's so you can have certain things that you won't get out of the cash car unless you put in a decent amount of money into it, which obviously you don't have. So I will say this, right? When you have a finance vehicle, it can provide you with more opportunities, because, you know, there's situations where, look, right now I need to get me a car and I need to get from A to B because I don't have a car, and it doesn't matter how much it costs because I'm gonna be able to pay for it once I get these opportunities, you know, from being able to go here and go there and go there. You're not gonna be driving your cash car like that. I'm telling you right now. You may in the beginning, but you're not going to be running down your cash car because it already got high miles. It already got over 150K probably, because you're not going to get a cash car for a decent price that's less than 150K. I mean, you might get something decent, you know, unless you're trying to spend some money. But in this situation, if you get in a cash car, I'm pretty sure you're not trying to spend over 10 bands for a cash car, right? You're trying to stay within. I mean, me personally, I would want to stay under $5,000. You know what I'm saying? That's where I want to stay at. So, and you don't, a lot of times you cannot drive that car how you want to drive it, because it's an older car, it's brittle, you don't want to be pushing it to the limit, right? But then you get that finance vehicle and you able to make some moves and you able to do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? You can drive 30-40 minutes every day because you got a good job out there. You don't want to do that in your cash car, really. You don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you would do it. But then once you start getting stuck on that road, now it's like, damn, bro, like, it's not going to be able to work. You feel me? With the cash car going back and forth that far. So you have to really think about your situation. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have to drive that far, the cash car could be perfect. But the finance vehicle, depending on where you stay, could expand your opportunities to be able to make more money. So that's one thing that y'all want to be able to think about too. And then also, with your finance vehicle, if you pay your stuff on time, you can build your credit with that. You will be building your credit like day by day, having that finance vehicle. You know what I'm saying? As long as you pay on time, if you can afford to pay a little bit more, if you can pay earlier, you know what I'm saying, you'll be building your credit. Can't say the same for the cash car, but with the cash car, you can do whatever you want with it. If you want to drive it into the ground, it don't matter because you already put your upfront investment into it. you're not continuously paying on it. You already spent your $2,000 for the car, and then another $1,000 to fix whatever you need to fix, and now you paid $3,000. Now a year or two go by, hey, you done made your money back off the car and then saved up a little bit more money. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of looking good, you feel me? But it all depends on the situation, you know what I'm saying? And then whatever you want to do with the car, with the cash car, you could do. You could run that shit into a tree. As long as it keep driving, you could still drive it. You don't have to fix no bumper on that thing. You don't care, because it's just a cash car. You know what I'm saying? It's already burnt out and ugly in anyway. I'm just trying to get from A to B in this thing, you feel me? So it's a lot to think about, really, when you're trying to buy a car, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to financing and cashing out. I think the best thing to do would be analyze your situation. You have to analyze your situation and see what would be best for you and best for the, you know, the goals that you have. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of a dilemma right now that I'm having. Like, should I just go ahead and get a finance vehicle so I could just, you know, I live in Georgia, in the Atlanta metro area, but everything is so freaking far apart. You know what I'm saying? Like all the five like clubs and stuff, all the five areas, like all the places with the rich people at, all the places with the baddies at, all the places with the people doing business and breaking bread and doing this and learning this and doing that. You know what I'm saying? It's all like 40 minutes away, 50 minutes away. You got to be moving and hustling and bustling to get to these places. You know what I'm saying? So the opportunities that come from a finance car can be crazy, but you can also have those same opportunities with a cash car if you can properly get the cash car, the right cash car, good reliability, this and that. Like, you have to have a lot of things go right for you to get a decent cash car that's going to allow you to move how you want to move. You know what I'm saying? So just be aware of these things and just understand it's all up to you and whatever you see for your life. But I appreciate you guys for watching the video. Peace.